Progressive presents an interview with your upstairs neighbor.
My name's Barry. I live right above you. I don't host parties. I host after parties. They're like parties, only louder and nobody goes home. You can see right here I ripped out all the carpeting because it was holding me back with my pogo stick. Man's got a pogo. Oh, I'm a prankster. I'll grease up a soda can and then when somebody grabs it, boom!
Progressive can't save you from your upstairs neighbor, but we can save you money when you bundle renters and auto insurance with us. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Every gambler knows that the secret to surviving.
I don't wanna take advice from fools.
You always won every time you placed a bet.
Money, that's what I want.
Hello, folks. It is 11 a.m. Eastern. 11 a.m. Eastern in the East, 8 a.m. Eastern in Las Vegas. Of course, the first place where you can bet legally, but welcome to people from my native state of New Jersey or Delaware, not too far behind in Mississippi, where you can finally legally bet within the state. Go up to a window, place some winning bets, and OffshoreInsiders.com has all those winning bets for you. By the way, you can win $10,000 in a 100% free last man standing contest. Free. Free. $10,000 is what you can win. Go to OffshoreInsiders.com for the details. Why don't we go straight into our Saturday information? And by the way, those of you watching live, why don't you say hi and let us know, and especially if you are a new viewer. And we're going to do a little bit more of a marketing push actually in the next week or so. But say hi and let us know what you're watching us on, because we do simulcast to quite a few platforms out there. I think, about 5 plus, and then we immediately send this audio podcast out. Falcons and the Jaguars. And yeah, we're going to have college football information as well. Star wide receiver Julio Jones and running back Devontae Freeman are out for Atlanta. Remember, Dan Quinn has never taken the preseason seriously as the Falcons head coach. The Jaguars, they're definitely not top-heavy at wide receiver. They don't really have, a clear-cut number one, number two guys, but they're very deep. And in the preseason, that could be pretty big. Now, I'll grant you could argue week 3, which is the quote-unquote dress rehearsal, is where depth is least important. But especially next week, keep that in mind, where you're going to have some guys battling for position at the end of the roster. Jacksonville open up at -1, but they're now laying 4. This is one of the biggest line moves of the day. No surprise there, as, of course, it was based in no small part, and no small part due to the fact that Atlanta doesn't take the preseason all that seriously. And yeah, sometimes I organize my notes in book order. This time, I didn't, but, just the order comes in. There you can see Jacksonville laying 4 with a total of 39. And remember, if you use the promo code Duffy at mybookie.ag, Duffy, not only will you get that massive sign-up bonus, but it shows your support, and it says, look, you would like this free information, not just Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, where we're committed to doing it during the regular season, but you want it every time there's football. Falcons have gone under 18 of 24 in the preseason. Jacksonville held Minnesota just 10 points last week without Jalen Ramsey and Dante Fowler, both who return this week. The Titans and the Steelers, and by the way, we're going to have a free pick on this game, a free premium pick from Joe Duffy's Picks on this game in a moment. But the Titans linebacker Rashaan Evans, their first rounder, is out. A little bit of a surprise. Another guy, obviously, the Steelers are a team that hasn't always taken the preseason all that seriously with Mike Tomlin, but now it does look like Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers' healthy starters are going to play at least a few series. That's why it is Pittsburgh -4 and a total of 44. The Chiefs and the Bears. Bears first rounder linebacker Roquan Smith is going to make his preseason debut after being the last first rounder to sign. Now, but a little bit of surprise. Second-year quarterback Mitch Trubisky, he's actually apparently not going to play. Most of the starters are going to rest in week 3 for the Bears. And Trubisky, he really needs a confidence. And, you could argue that the guys who are going to be playing for quarterback, Trubisky doesn't really have a stranglehold on this position. I mean, mind you, he's certainly going to start week 1. They didn't draft him number 1 last year and trade for him. But, Trubisky, if he continues to falter, if he continues to be a bust, who knows? There could be a quarterback controversy before it's all over. And you never know. There's plenty of motivation for the Bears quarterbacks playing today to play well. Chiefs starters, though, are expected to play into the third quarter, led by Patrick Mahomes, a franchise quarterback. You can see where, even though he's going to be, on one hand, is Andy Reid going to say, look, I don't want my first unit guys going up against their second and third unit guys, but Patrick Mahomes is their franchise quarterback. He could definitely use some confidence building, and this might be a perfect chance to do that. So keep an eye on that. Don't be surprised if Mahomes has a big day. And there you can see right in front of our eyes the Houston and the Rams total is now at 40. And the odds are just changing right in front of our eyes. As a result of all the stuff that we told you, the Bears had opened up at -1, but they're now getting 4.5, which is a massive line move. But again, there's no secret as to why that is, at least when you get the tailgate party. And in fact, there is now up to 5.5. So we compiled our notes a little bit earlier, but now the Bears are getting 5.5. And as I said, in previous years, when you fade big line moves in the preseason, more times than not, you're going to make big bucks fading it. This year, though, teams have not only covered the opening line, but they've done a pretty good job even closing. If you're chasing steam, this has been a rare, pretty good year for that. The Saints and the Chargers, and before we go to that, at OffshoreInsiders.com, the Master Lock Line has a massive day. 65-46 run, quite a few underdogs along the way. Both NCAA football sides and the top NCAA football total. Master Lock Line goes back to 1980 on the score phones. The highest rated plays from the highest rated services in their highest rated sports. There is no exception. If there is a legitimate game of the year play out there, you will get it on the Master Lock Line. You will get it at a fraction of the cost. Master Lock Line has literally been around since 1980 on the score phone days. And both college football sides, the biggest sports service plays, are there now. Saints and the Chargers. Chargers star defensive lineman Joey Bosa has been slowed by a left foot injury. Just a matter of how careful Anthony Lynn is going to be with him. If this were a regular season game, he'd be fine, but could be held out as a precaution. Chargers' first-team offense is going to play the first half, but they're very thin at wide receiver and tight end with some injuries at wide receiver, and Antonio Gates remains a holdout. New Orleans quarterback Drew Brees will make his preseason debut, as will running back Mark Ingram. Now, keep in mind, Ingram, part of that incredible two-headed monster that they have there with Kamara. He's suspended for the first 4 weeks, so look for him to get some extra touches tonight, and that could be a big edge. It really worked last night if you bet on Tampa Bay, where, of course, Jameis Winston was suspended, but he got some extended action against those second and third stringers. Chargers starters will play most of the first half, but the offense is expected to be, quote-unquote, passive, as they've had more than their share of training camp injuries. And, looks like we do have a nice number of live viewers continue to increase as, as I said, we're on quite a few platforms out there. You can watch us on YouTube. You can watch us on Periscope, Facebook Live, where we did it last year with Sportsbook Review. But I wanted a little bit more control. Enjoyed the partnership I had with them, but a little bit more control over my content this year. So we're going to do it live on so many different platforms, and it looks like we got a nice viewership, but still, we're going to take into consideration most of our views still come on demand, but do thank you for those of you who are checking in. The Texans and the Rams. Texans star linebacker Jadeveon Clowney is close to full strength. He's probable. Look for J.J. Watt, could also play for Houston Spectre too. Deshaun Watson, boy, he has not missed a beat. He had one of the great rookie years of all time last year before he had that terrible injury, but he looks like he's recovered from an injury. Deshaun Watson just very well might be that franchise quarterback that they wanted. We know he's such a winner in college football. Certainly one of the top 10, maybe one of the top 5 guys that I've seen in college. And yeah, thank you, Frank. The Frank Rizzo? Philadelphia Mayor Frank Rizzo has risen from the dead. Yeah, I know. I bet you've never heard that joke before. But thank you for Frank Rizzo checking in. But Watson has been spectacular so far. He has done nothing wrong since entering the NFL. But he is going to get some playing time. Looks like Rams running back Todd Gurley and quarterback Jared Goff, they are out. Star defensive tackle Aaron McDonald is a holdout for the Rams. So that's why the Rams open up laying 3.5. They're now getting 3. So because of all that, the Rams are obviously without almost all their quality players that they would have. That has been a massive line move. And there's always an explanation. There's always a clear explanation in the preseason why their line moves are not so much, sharp money as it is intel coming out. The Seahawks and the Vikings, tight end Ed Dixon, who has played 16 games, 5 straight seasons, and 6 of his last 7 is out for Seattle. 49ers and the Colts. The 49ers are expected to play the first half. Their starters. They are, though, very thin at running back with Jarek McKinnon and Matt Breida are out. Of course, Andrew Luck has been so-so, but he's coming off a serious injury. The Colts starting quarterback and franchise quarterback. A lot of the beat writers we follow, it's part speculation, it's part reading the tea leaves. They do think that the Colts are going to be aggressive with Andrew Luck to get him in quote-unquote game shape. Wide receiver, though, T.Y. Hilton and Marlon Mack are both out, so he's not necessarily going to have his weapons, but they've been pretty conservative. They haven't been throwing downfield with him. Will they open it up? Here, some of the observers do believe so. Why don't we give you a free pick, and then we're going to get to our college football news and notes. And yeah, I should probably show you these lines. Like I said, not all of them were necessarily in book order. I do try to sometimes organize it, but usually I really organize it as the information comes in. So a little tougher to follow along, but again, you can see the odds at mybookie.ag. They make this free information possible. And, if you love this free information, it's win-win for everybody involved. You can set up an account there. You're going to get paid. I am not going to put my pristine reputation on the line with a sportsbook that doesn't pay you on time. And if you use the promo code Duffy, you get the biggest sign-up bonus that they allow, 50% plus. You show your support for this information. It's your way of telling them to sponsor us for Thursday nights, Monday nights, etc. But again, we are 100% committed to doing it Sundays, 10 a.m., live on the simulcast during the football season, during the NFL season. Hawaii and Colorado State. Looks, after all, Colorado State coach Mike Bobo now will coach from the booth. As you know, he's had some bizarre medical issues they're trying to figure out, and it looked like they were going to be without him, but now it looks like he is going to coach from the booth. So could that be something that will motivate Colorado State? I know that there's a journeyman handicapper out there. I used to work with him on the score phones. He's big into the quote-unquote intangibles, and he overdoes it, but there are certain situations where you can see the teams are going to rally around something, and this, I think, is a legitimate example, but hold everything because Hawaii also has some motivational reasons as well. Starting quarterback Colin Hill is doubtful for CSW. Hawaii, though, does have 3 new defensive assistants to improve on their horrible defense, but again, is that a work in progress? It may take them a little while to adjust. There might be an adjustment period, to say the least. Last 4 meetings have been pretty high scoring. Average score, Colorado State 44.3 to Hawaii 24.5. Now, Hawaii players are human, and you've read it. There's obviously Hurricane Lane is destroying their homeland, but we've written articles about this with examples. We really found out that more times than not, teams will rally for when there is adversity. They'll rally around it. So this is a big distraction. We always say you can't manufacture emotion. So I think it's going to be just the opposite. Hawaii is going to say, let's dedicate this to our homeland. They're just going to rally around this. But, as I said, Colorado State also has something to rally around. So maybe the quote-unquote intangibles are going head-to-head. But Colorado State minus 17, a total of 58. And as I said, recent history suggests there's going to be 60 or so points scored in this game. So recent history would suggest the over. But check OffshoreInsiders.com for the biggest sports service plays in the industry on the Master Lock Line, which again has been winning for you since 1980. Now, Wyoming, New Mexico State. Wyoming lost their number 7 pick, Josh Allen, to the NFL. But their top 2 receivers and rushers are back. Wyoming with 8 starters back from a team 23rd in the country in yards allowed. New Mexico State, though, also lost quarterback Tyler Rogers, 3rd in passing yards per game. State really strong, though, on their offensive line and defense. However, and this is kind of an interesting factoid, and especially when you believe that teams that might start out slow and then are going to get better as the year goes on, a lot of sharps think that is New Mexico State. They are they're the only team in the country without their leading passer, rusher, receiver, and tackler from last season. So they are rebuilt. And there are a lot of sharps think they're going to be a team that maybe fade early, but they'll get better as the year goes on, where conversely, Wyoming might just be the opposite. They've got 5 all-Mountain West starters back on defense. May have gotten distracted. I think I promised you I was going to give you a free pick, and I am going to give you a free pick. And there you can see Wyoming is a 4-point favorite with a total 45. Tennessee and Pittsburgh under the total. This is a premium pick. When road teams, when they win consecutive games committing 1 or fewer turnovers, it's going under 124-90, including 16-5 the last 3, 34-13 the last 5 years. Now that was entering this weekend. And of course, we've, the Joe Duffy's picks, who went 4-2 last night. So a great angle, to say the least. Again, if you do like this free information, very easy to show your support, a lot of different ways. But simply like it. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, or on Periscope, you got hearts. And hey, by the way, especially if anyone is watching us, we're actually getting some decent views on some of the sites that are more oriented towards other countries. We're finally starting to build that up. That VK or OK, what is it, OK.ru or whatever. Especially if you're watching us from outside the United States, say hi to us. Say hi to us. We very much appreciate your viewing it. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, Sunday, with more free information. But again, if you do like this, please, however you can help us, retweet it. Feel free to comment, even though, about 70% of you are going to be watching this on demand, not necessarily live. Yeah, comment on it there, share it, and that is your way of showing the support. All right, Marcus, did I blow it? As I'm trying to, I guess I'm multitasking here. Marcus is asking what was the play. Yes, the play is Tennessee and Pittsburgh under. Tennessee and Pittsburgh under is the free premium pick. And let's see these comments. Am I putting them on top of each other? Well, it's kind of cool that we can add these comments, but all this other stuff. Oh, there you go. It's a very good thing. Very good that I didn't mean to actually do that, but it's kind of a good thing that I wound up wearing a shirt. I didn't want to have myself on camera. I guess I'm going to share my secret. You just saw it there. The truth is, I actually prefer to not be on camera. It saves me showering in the morning, but I'm like, I wind up wearing my wife beater shirt here. I work out of my house, and I'm like, you know what? Inevitably, I'm eventually going to hit the wrong button, which I did do, and luckily I put a shirt on. So, but yeah, you saw my secret. I'm not actually showered, but you can have a little fun at my expense. Anyway, we will talk to you Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll have some Sunday news and notes.
Call 1-888-FARMERS to switch, and you could save an average of $470 on your auto insurance. That's a lot of money in just a few minutes. With savings like that, you could be lounging on an impractical amount of ornate and overpriced throw pillows you bought for your couch. But you won't, because you're better with money than that. That's why you're calling us in the first place. Call 1-888-FARMERS to get a quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Based on average nationwide annual savings survey data July to December 2020. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate. Products not available in every state.